Maintenant, je vais appeler quelqu'un, mais auparavant, je vais vous montrer un petit film. Quelqu'un que je trouve extraordinaire pour son engagement, son activisme et les risques qu'il prend et qu'il a pris tout au long de sa vie. Mais avant de l'appeler, puisqu'il aura le plaisir de nous rejoindre sur la scène, je voudrais qu'on passe un petit film qui va vous expliquer ce que ces gens-là font. Je vais demander à Paul Watson de venir nous rejoindre sur cette scène sous vos applaudissements. Paul Watson, Captain Paul Watson, fondateur de Sea Shepherd, le pirate des mers, le berger des mers, est avec nous ce soir. Et c'est un immense honneur de l'avoir avec nous. Et vraiment, vous pouvez lui faire une standing ovation, parce que des gens comme ça, on ne les a pas tous les jours sous la main. Thank you very much, Paul, for being here. Thank you very much. Paul Watson. So I won't give an interview to Paul. So I'm going to speak to you in English. So I think it's fine. So everybody's understanding. So if we have some question later, they will ask you this question during the cocktail. Okay? Thank you, Paul.
Merci. Our communication challenge is rather daunting. What we have to do is convince people the world over that if the ocean dies, we die. We do not live on this planet with a dead ocean. It provides over 50% of the oxygen that we breathe. It feeds billions of people. It regulates the wind, the currents, the temperature, controls climate. It is the life support system of the planet. But for the most part, it's out of sight. It's out of mind. People don't think about it. But whether you live on the top of the Himalayas or you live in Paris, it has the same impact. The oceans keep us alive. It was very disappointing that at the climate conference recently that it was hardly even mentioned. And unless we address that, we're not going to have a very positive future. The reason being is that we are diminishing life in the ocean. And as we diminish life in the ocean, we diminish our chances of survival. Some of you may have noticed that there's a large life-size blue whale on the banks of the Seine, that we're in partnership to put that up there. And the reason it's there is to illustrate that the reason that we have had a 40% decline in phytoplankton population, which produces over 50% of the oxygen, the reason that happened is that we've killed 90% of the whales. The whales are the farmers of the ocean. Every day, one blue whale dumps into the ocean 3 tons of whale manure, whale crap. That is very rich in nitrogen and in iron especially, which provides the food and the nutrients for the phytoplankton, which provides the food for the zooplankton, which provides the food for the fishes all the way up to the whales. A 40% diminishment in phytoplankton, and nobody even talks about it. Instead, the Norwegians and the Japanese want to go and harvest phytoplankton to provide cheap protein for domestic animals. because 40% of all of the fish taken out of the ocean isn't eaten by people. It's fed to chickens and pigs and house cats and domestic salmon. We are eating the oceans alive. And there is simply no way that 7.5 billion meat-eating, fish-eating primates can continue to exist without destroying the ocean. We've taken 90% of the fishes out of the ocean right now. By 2048, there will be no fishing industry because there will be no fish. So the solution is we need to take an example from the Polynesians, who for hundreds of years had this thing called taboo, where the shaman would say, this bay is taboo, no fishing for 20 years. Anybody caught fishing, it was a very serious penalty. In Tahiti, it was a death penalty. Why? Because they knew that if the fish died, they died. We have no taboo areas in the world today. We need to allow the ocean time to repair itself. And to do that, we have to stop all government subsidies to the fishing industries, which right now is 100 billion euros a year to keep those fishing industries going. Stop the subsidies, stop industrialized fishing, and allow the ocean to repair itself, to regenerate. Because if we don't, we won't have a future. And to get that message across is very, very difficult. So it is a communications challenge, and it's one that we are trying to do our best to get it across. And we're doing that through films and movies, and we're also doing it through direct action with our ships on the sea, intervening against illegal activities, with television shows, and we're trying to do the best we can. So thank you very much for this. It's very, very appreciated.
So Paul, so we have a new category, but this is not for advertising agencies or not NGOs. This is for people. And I'm really proud to give you the first award of the Activist of the Year.
Oh,
Paul Watson, you are the one.
Merci beaucoup.
Paul Watson, s'il vous plaît.